Hello everyone. In this video, we shall learn how to draw project network diagram and to identify a critical path. When we talk about project management in financial management, project is a process which consists of a set of coordinated and controlled activities with start and finish dates. Now, how to achieve a particular project? For that, there will be certain steps. To understand those steps, we draw project network diagram, and from that we identify a critical path. So critical path technique allows you to identify tasks that are necessary for project completion. So let us take one example and draw a project network diagram and identify a critical path. Let us see how to draw a project network diagram for creating a facility for lift irrigation in a farm. So this information will be provided to us, wherein we will be having a activity name, symbol, preceding activity, optimistic activity, most likely time, and pessimistic time. And here we will have to calculate estimated time. Now how to calculate expected or estimated time? For that we have a formula where T of O represents optimistic time, T of M represents most likely time, and T of P represents pessimistic time. So based on this formula, we will have to calculate the expected time of the activity. Now in this particular activity, we can see first activity is site selection, which has been given with a symbol A. Preceding activity, there is no preceding activity for this. Digging well is given represented by symbol B, preceding activity for which is A. Then symbol C represents laying field channels, for which preceding activity is B. So preceding activity is a must. Symbol D represents procurement of pump. So we are going to procure a pump only when A activity, that is site selection, is done. Then installation of pump is activity E. To install a pump, D and B must be completed. So D represents procurement of pump and B represents laying field channels. Symbol F represents test run. So when C and E activity is done, we can go ahead with test run. So C activity represents laying field channels and E activity represents installation of pump. So let us proceed. So first we will have to calculate the expected time with the given formula. So this is how we are going to see this particular table once we calculate the expected time. For site selection, using the formula we have calculated, the expected time comes to 7. Expected time for digging well comes to 3 days. Laying field channels, expected time comes to 15 days. Then procurement of pump, expected time comes to 7 days. Installation of pump, expected time comes to 3 days, and test run, expected time comes to 2 days. Now let us proceed and draw the diagram. So always the first thing that will appear is start. From start, next we are going to draw the symbol, and next to the symbol we are going to write down the expected time. So first activity is A7. Symbol A represents site selection. What is the expected time? Expected time is given in bracket 7. So once we are done with A, then next symbol is B, for which preceding activity is A. So to draw that, B activity, the expected time for B activity is 3 hours. Next symbol is C, and the preceding activity for symbol C is B, activity B. So once we are done with activity B, we can proceed with activity C, that is laying field channels. and C will take around 15 days. Next activity is activity D, that is procurement of pump, and procurement of pump must be done once site selection is done. So we are directly moving from A to D. From A to D we are moving. For D, time required is 7 hours. Next symbol is E, that is installation of pump. Preceding activity for E is D and B. D and B. So once we are done with activity D and activity B, then we can proceed with activity E. E represents installation of pump, for which the expected time is 3 days. Final one is test run, final activity test run, which is represented by symbol F. Now for this, preceding activities are C and E. So once we are done with C, activity C and activity E, we will go ahead with test run. Test run represented by symbol F, and expected time is 2. So that is our finish point. So in this way we draw the project network diagram. Now let us move ahead and identify the critical path. Now how to identify the critical path? All the possible routes or all the possible paths through which we come from start to the finish point will be considered under critical path. So let us see which are those, what are the critical paths that we may come across. B to E, E to F, one critical path. Total time is 15 days. Then we have A to B, B to C, C to F. Total time 27 days. We have one more path in this, that is A to D, D to E, E to F. Total time is 19 or 19 days for critical path. So what is the critical path over here? Critical path is the path which takes longest number of days. So path 2 in this case, that is A to B, B to C and C to F, is the longest path. So that path is a critical path. I hope you have understood the network analysis or the network diagram and how to identify critical path.